Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy to be here and happy you're here with me. And if you're new here and enjoy this type of content, I hope you'll subscribe. My name is Heather. This is Southern Gals Crochet. And today we're going to talk about my market, the Labor Day weekend market. It was a 2-day event and it was fantastic. Finally, I had a fantastic market. Barely a chance to sit down. It was it was hard on the knee, but it was wonderful. Okay, so we have a lot of items to go over. I had this separated into what all sold on what day. So we'll just flip through this. And lots of pages. So if I have a picture, I will post a picture up in this corner, but pretty sure I don't. I'm pretty sure there are several items I don't have pictures of. Alright, so I'm going to close that real quick. Okay, I'm going to try to. There we go. I got it. Maybe I don't have it. Just one more minute, please. Okay. Alright. So, the very first thing that sold was an armadillo. We're going to do all of Saturday first, in the order as they sold. So we sold an armadillo for $20, a sea turtle for $15, 2 scrubby sets for $20, $10 a piece, 1 chicken with wings, $20, 1 small snake for $10, 1 shark for $15, 1 blueberry for $5, one wiener, I wrote it down as wiener dog, 1 wiener dog for $20, and then I got a surprise visit from the old man with his wife, Bob and Tracy, and they brought their little sheep that I made them, and got all kinds of oohs and ahs and thank yous, and so that was wonderful. But it was really hard talking to them, and thankfully, right at the moment they arrived, the parade was about to start, so I could. She has dementia, and so she knows that she has seen me before, but she wanted to make sure I knew how grateful she was, you know, even though she's already done that before. So while I was paying attention to them and doing 2 sales at the same time, I redirected her, with her husband's help, redirected her to, don't want to miss the parade, it's fixing to start, you know. So that was fun. But while they were there, I also sold another scrubby set for $10. and a little dog for $18. And then after the parade was over, people started coming back to shopping, and I sold a dragon for $30, a football for $8, a baby chick for $8, another baby chick for $8, and in my clearance bin I had a chicken nugget, and that sold for $6, a rose for $10, another weenie dog for $20, a strawberry for $5, a bat for $15, and a ghost for $15. And I sold one of my large spiders for $40. I've had them with me for like a year. Maybe I've had one of them for 2 years and one of them for 1 year. And I definitely had them overpriced. So I slashed the price in half and boom, it sold. I was like, okay. So one big spider gone for $40. Another sea turtle for $15. Page 2. A mallard duck for $10. Large strawberry for $20. A ladybug for $10. A ghost for $15. A cactus for $25. A land turtle for $30. A gnome, it's a purple gnome I had in my clearance bin, sold it for $7. A blue worm for $2. A baby chick for $8. A strawberry for $5. A bat for $15. A ladybug for $10. An octopus for $20. A leggy frog for $10. Whew, that leggy frog finally gone. The last of them. A new mushroom for $8. A triceratops for $25. A possum for $12. The show started at 9 and we are now at 12:30. Wow. Alright. A weenie dog for $20. A gnome ornament for $10. 2 strawberries at $5 a piece for $10. A dragon for $30. I have had those last 2 dragons for so long, and I marked them down to $30, and they both sold. So apparently I had them overpriced. A mammoth for $20. A football for $8. A sea turtle for $15. A shark for $15. A purple worm for $2. A sea turtle for $15. A blue octo for $2. A strawberry for $5. And a squid for $20. And that puts us at 3 o'clock and show's over. And that was $757. Woo! That was well over my expectation. My expectation for this particular event was 600 for the 2 days, because sales have really been down all year long, and so I have lowered my expectations of the events, and wow, this was just wonderful. Okay, and so I got home. Oh my gosh, I was so exhausted, tired, hot. It was so hot, and there was barely any breeze. And so it was miserable, really. I mean, let's say the right words. It was miserable. But thankfully, it was so busy, I didn't really have time to focus on how miserable it was. And I was put in a perfect spot. It was shady, not very, I barely had a little bit of sun earlier in the morning, and I now have an umbrella that attaches to the back of my chair, so it was perfect. And it was just so many people. I mean, I haven't seen that many people at an event since last year at Memorial Day in May. That was the last time I saw that many people crowded into our little town. So it was really great. They did an awesome job advertising it. Awesome. Okay. So day 2, thankfully I didn't have to get up as early, but because I was so exhausted the day before, I took a pill and I was in bed by 9:30, which is very unusual, very unusual. I'm more of a 11:30 midnight kind of girl. And so I was wide awake before the alarm even went off the next morning. So that was unusual. Anyway, so needless to say, I did not get any crochet done on Saturday evening. I was just too wiped out. Sunday, we wake up and we get there, and there's hardly anybody there. And I'm like, show's fixing to start. There's a lot of vendors still not there. And so that was weird. And then there were a lot of vendors that actually packed up Saturday night and didn't come back Sunday. They missed out. They really missed out. Okay, let's get to Sunday. I sold one frog for $5. A new mushroom for $8. I say new mushroom because I do have my red mushroom cupcake, and then I have my new mushroom that has a taller, it looks more of a traditional mushroom. That's my new one. Okay, sold a new mushroom for $8. Sold a chill pill for $10. Sold a pumpkin for $10. Sold a ghost for $15. Sold another ghost for $15. Sold a chicken with wings for $20. Sold a regular chicken, sesame chicken, for $18. Another sesame chicken for $18. A T-Rex for $25. A bee for $12. A possum for $12. A shark for $15. A sea turtle for $15. A duck for $10. A mallard duck for $10. An octopus for $12. A ghost for $15. A bee for $12. a baby chick for $8, a candy corn for $8, and the last spider. Okay, before I move on, okay, this little girl, she came in, her dad, apparently she has her dad just wrapped around her little finger, because she went straight for the glam chicks. I only had 2 left. She wanted both of them. And he goes, "Is that all you're going to get? Is that what you want?" And she said, "This one was for so-and-so, and this one was for so-and-so." And then she said, "And the spider." And I said, "Oh, the spider is the most expensive thing I have in my shop." And he's like, "Ooh." And he's asking her, "Are you really sure?" And he reaches over and looks at the tag and he goes, "You know what? Just go ahead and ring it up." I was like, she was hugging on that spider like it was her new best friend. I have never seen a little girl so in love with a spider. That was awesome. The girl has unusual taste, and I love it. So she got the large spider and the 2 glam chicks at $15 a piece, and the large spider was $40. So that was wonderful. I loved it. A little girl, she just hugging on it. Oh my gosh, that was wonderful. I appreciate a girl who likes reptiles and spiders and stuff. You know, all the things girls aren't supposed to like. It's amazing. I love it. Alright. And then after that, I sold a small snake for $10. And then a baby chick for $8. A pig for $20. A flower pillow for $25. A duck for $10. A baby chick for $8. And a strawberry for $5. And one more page, just a little bit. One crab for $15, and one Highland cow for $25. And the last people that showed up, they were talking about, making the rounds and coming back. I hear that a lot, like, well, we're just going to make the rounds and make sure that's what we want, So I told them, I was like, they've already given us permission to close up because there's a storm coming, and, it should be here within the next 30 minutes. And she goes, "Never mind, we'll go ahead and purchase it now." So they purchased the owl for $12, and a crab for $15, and a purple heart wiggly eye toy for $2. And that was the end of the day. It was wonderful. I was kind of bummed about closing up early. I was like having such a really great day. I was really bummed about closing up early, but it's a good thing because by time hubby and I got everything packed up and loaded into the truck and we're fixing to leave, it started raining. So it was perfect timing. It was hot, and we did have some people who ended up having to have an ambulance called for them. I think there were 3 people altogether. Okay, let's get down to the numbers here. Second day was $498. I sold a total of 90 items and a total of 64 transactions. And I grossed $12.55. Woo! I couldn't believe it. It was just so amazing. I mean, I have been tooting the horn of the coordinator. You know, like that girl, she really put this together. I mean, she really made it happen, and that was awesome. Her and the other guy, well, there was a group of them, you know, but they all put their biggest efforts in, and it really paid off. It was awesome. All right, so paying, after deducting my booth fee and, let's see, I got the wrong paper out. I am not prepared, as usual. Okay, so the booth fee was $125. And like I said, I was kind of hoping to get around 600 and doubled that. That was awesome. I grossed $12.55 and 700 and something 724 of that was square and 531 was cash. And I paid hubby $170. He was so happy. He's like, "Oh, my wallet is so hungry." So he was so happy. He was running out of money. Let's see. They changed the time. The time used to be from 9 to 4. They changed it to 9 to 3. But of course, we only stayed till 2 on Sunday due to the rain. Like I said, 90 items. And my best sellers were 6 baby chicks and 5 ghosts and 6 strawberries and 5 sea turtles. So those were my big sellers, but the ones I am so happy about getting rid of was the 2 dragons and the 2 large spiders. I had them with me way too long. So happy about them leaving. And that is that. I came home last night and crashed, of course. And then later I woke up and started figuring out what needs to be replenished and started on some baby chicks because I was down to 2 baby chicks. And of course today I worked on mallards and regular ducks because I was down to 1 of each. And so yeah, it was really a great market. I tell you what, I know I keep saying it, but it blows my mind. I have not had that much of a good time at a market and I don't know how long. Not only was it a good time, you know, it was a lot of people. The traffic was steady through my booth. There was a couple of times where it was slow, but that was great because it gave me a chance to eat my lunch, you know, things like that. And it gave me a chance to go visit with a couple other girls, Hippo Near and Grammy Garumi. So that was, it's always fun getting to hang out with other crochet vendors. Yeah, there were two other crochet vendors there, and I still did fantastic. So that I am super grateful. Uh, that's about it, I think. Yeah, I've got a lot to replenish. A lot. There's just so much. My list has got like so many sales on it. Anyway, it was just so great. I hope y'all enjoyed this video because all of my happiness is coming towards you. There you go. Alright. Y'all have a great week, and I will see you Friday. Bye-bye.